this episode, it knew how to make the most out of the most insane situations. You're like, literally, if I had to put this episode, this has to be a top-notch episode when it comes to how they handled the whole choreography of the video, like the episode, the whole animation, the way they showed us all of these things sliding away and strange, like having a completely different angle from all the way in. It was a completely different kind of sense of atmosphere, the sense of tension in the air that we had throughout this episode, and most probably this has to be the best one out of all I've seen when it comes to the build up, the tension, and all of this stuff that was happening here. Because literally, even in this scene that I'm right now like putting out, there was no music in this scene. There was no OST playing in this scene. It was complete silence, and it was just this whole scene. How they handled this whole scene with this intense, only this intense atmosphere by the cuts and all of that stuff happening here. Like simple animation, just showing different type of cuts from different type of angles, and just made this whole scene that much more horrifying or intensifying, I would say. It made it look like a completely different scene. Same like the end scene, like how Isabel literally like knocks on the door and she literally stands there with her knife there, and he thinks that she's gonna stab her, but she's like, have this. Like, that was also one hell of a good scene just because of how it was made out to be. And this ending scene had an OSC that's some kind of core going on behind, comes out of some kind of chorus going on behind him. I don't know what was going on, but it was some kind of shit happening like that, and I was like, like, that happened. Yeah, like throughout this whole episode, it was a completely different atmosphere. It was a completely different episode compared to the last one. I don't know what they they turned up in this episode that made it so special for me, but I think so. This was one of the best episodes that I've seen so far in Promise in Neverland, and most probably will be the best episode, unless there is a better episode than this in the future, which I'm pretty sure this episode is gonna be pretty hard to beat for what it was, because it was such a good one just for what it did and how it took the animation aspect and everything. As for the story aspect, yes, the story is going with the flow. It is going with what Sister Crone is doing. I'm not sure what was in the letter. It's most probably something like Sister Crone is fired in some kind of way, but I'm not sure what kind of shit is happening there in that letter. So I'm just gonna leave it at that stuff. Okay, but I like this whole episode about how the kids are trying to outwit Crone. I love though that aspect of this episode. They're trying to outwit this person who is kind of already outwitting them, because this whole scene again, coming to this part, it was a completely different scene because of one of the reasons. Because she was like, oh, the expressions on your face show everything, the sweat, anger, and all that stuff happening, the pupils and all that stuff, pupils pulsing and everything, all that stuff happening on your face. That's basically what gives away a lot of your information. Like, whoa, like that's some deep shit that's going on here. And to make a series psychologically haunt you. What the hell? This was a damn good episode for that. I will give every single point that this episode deserves, because it was damn good. It was really, really good. It had almost everything perfect. It was a pretty good episode, so it was. I'm gonna praise it for what it was. Anyways, let me know what you think about this episode of The Promised Neverland, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.